So season 2.
Yeah.
What's sort of the next stage of this in your mind in terms of the next stage of the evolution of the show? The
Fillery.
concept, that sort of thing. Fillery.
A lot of fillery, yeah.
Season 1, our characters were discovering that magic was real, learning where they fit in the world of magicians, a sort of magic coming of age story. In season 2, they have to figure out how to be adults in a world that has magic. Both on Earth, where they still sometimes attend class at Rayville's when they sort of feel like it, and on Fillery, where several of them are kings and queens, which sounds cool but entails a tremendous amount of responsibility, like way more responsibility than they're prepared for.
Does Lev Grossman still have any involvement?
Yeah.
Very much.
What's his sort of role in the show?
Reads every outline, every script, and reviews every cut.
Cool.
Yes, he's involved.
Yeah.
Season 1 ends at this very brutal stage. How do you guys pick up season 2? Do you time jump? Do you pick up right from that moment?
Right from that moment, like 2 seconds later. We pick up Quentin running like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we showed that scene at San Diego.
Yeah.
And that's the first scene of season 2. I think you'll see it, part of it today, maybe.
We fucked them, now we have to unfuck them.
Yeah. I know we talked about the Plover reveal last year. And the show hits these dark moments, but there's also these moments of levity. How's that juggling that when it comes to season 2?
I think it's the same.
Yeah, we don't really think too much about it. In
Right.
life, it's all one big crazy kind of soup that you have to swim through every day. So it's like that on our show, where it can be incredibly traumatic one moment, and then there can be a ton of gallows humor the next. What's interesting to us is really how these characters react in the widest variety of situations we can possibly put them in.
The visual palette is just so rich for this show. I mean, are you able to, if you write something and say, we're never going to be able to film this, or because we want people to see all this detail, we're just going to go ahead and write it and then figure it out? You don't feel any restrictions in terms of that?
Well, we have an amazing team.
Yeah, and there's always restrictions in terms of budget and time. So you always kind of like within the box. You
It
try to make the
sounds
best.
like the throne room and things are going to look pretty fantastic.
They're good.
I think it's pretty cool.
They're
It took
good.
my breath away the
Do
first
you have a
time I
favorite
saw it.
set at this point?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I would definitely want to go to work at that throne room every day, but I'd probably want to party at the Physical Kids Cottage still. They're both pretty great.
Yeah.
In season 1, we dealt with a lot of really dark themes like the rape of Julia and Elliot being in a somewhat manipulative relationship. What kind of real life situations do you draw from? And when you're writing something like that, where you kind of have to go to when writing something like that?
I don't, well, we have a whole room full of writers, and we all know each other pretty well at this point. I don't think anybody is shy about sharing personal experiences in the room. I think part of being a writer is that you have to kind of clear your head of judgment and presupposition and try to put yourself as deeply in the shoes of that character as possible. So that's, in the case of that scene that we wrote with Plover and Martin Chatwin, in writing that scene, it certainly I felt myself in Plover's shoes and I felt myself in Martin's shoes. So we try to approach those really kind of dark and serious subjects with a lot of respect because we want to talk about them, and we talk about it a lot in season 2. The aftermath of what happened to Julia is really a driving force in season 2. So it's something all of the writers have devoted a lot of brain space and kind of heart space to.
Was there a learning curve to season 1 going into season 2 in the sense of recognizing what you can do and what you shouldn't do?
Yes, and to be very blunt, that's the part that I usually play at this thing. As Sarah's heart rate increases.
Yeah, what's he going to say?
No, I love it. Bring it.
No, it's that you also, frankly, if some people work out really well, department heads, and some people don't. And there's no, Stanley Kubrick said a quote that I take to heart, which is fire without guilt. If someone's not up to it, fire them. And there were folks who we were not happy with. And we said, going into season 2, you're welcome to work somewhere else, just not here. I could bar you from working in the business, but not on this show, because season 1 was much tougher specifically I think in areas of like VFX, really hard to just figure it out because we had a very, very, very specific aesthetic of the magic is real. It's not. It looks dirty. It looks when
Get
you know
it.
like we worked so hard on the pilot. We had a lot more money and time to do the House of Cards scene. And this is not a compliment or a knock to anyone, but we worked on that for a month. Just that, just those fucking cards. Because we wanted it to look a little bent and a little dusty and this and that. And it was just like every iteration was painfully not what we wanted.
It looks great on a big plasma.
And then to then take that aesthetic, which was a hard one on a big pilot and ascribe it to season 1 on the series, was hard. You know, and we now have, I think, through trial and error, put together a team that is now like an army, completely. It's like playing no-look handoff basketball with people. It's just.
So you're Magic Johnson, literally.
I am magic nothing, my friend. It's all just hard work and trial and error.
If you could go back and change anything from season 1, what would you change?
Holy shit. No comment.
It was so long ago.
Yeah, I would change nothing about the story or the acting. But, you know, I mean, I think I've been fairly candid. I think we both suffered a lot to try to make it look like we wanted it to look like. And now it feels like we're getting that with complete ease. There's no struggle this year. And I think the quality, you'll see a little bit of it in a little preview today. But I think you'll see as each episode unfolds that what is both has been for us, I think, an easier process has yielded a better product.
Yeah.
You know, thank God. Because I couldn't do that again. I'm too old.
Now I'm going to have to zero to IMDb and say, okay, season 1, season 2, who got fired? Who got fired?
So sick.
Okay, you know, listen. You know, I've been
I'm
fired.
only kidding.
I've been fired a lot. You know, it's not.
I mean,
it's
the
not
first major change was Sosie Bacon, right? From the
Well, but that was that. I don't want to talk about Sosie. Cast-wise, Sosie was fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
The
It was a-
pilot
yeah.
process is
Yeah.
incredibly
Yes.
brutal,
Yeah.
completely different, much more political process than what we were talking about.
We had
Once you're in
actually-
production,
right.
it's about. So that's what they were wearing on the day. That's
Right.
the angle we chose on the day. That's the coverage we have on the day. Like, how can we do this a little differently next time?
Yeah.
And the people who flow with it and adjust and learn from mistakes even quicker than we do. Those are our amazing department heads that we work with every day. And yeah,
We love Sosie so much we put her in Aquarius.
yeah, she's on
Yeah.
Aquarius.
like
yeah.
the next day.
yeah.
Yeah.